Everyone's always asking me about my meat. So we said, Dave, why don't you make some meat for the people? So that's what we're gonna do. We have a beautiful, beautiful Wagyu tomahawk. It is in the kitchen right now, getting to room temperature. This is the big green egg. I am in no sponsorship with these people. I just love this thing. This is the best smoker there is. I know some people love the Traeger thing. No issues with Traeger. I just love the big green egg. It's simple and perfect and elegant. So what you want to do if you're going to smoke anything, in this case, again, it's going to be a tomahawk, although I've done 16-hour briskets and all sorts of great stuff. You want to open up all the vents because you're really playing with air to get the smoke going here. Open up all the vents. Then you get your charcoal. There's all kinds of different charcoal that you want to get, but I do like the Big Green Egg brand charcoal. And you want to pour in a nice amount of charcoal in there. Charcoal lasts quite some time because you're not going to be exploding that flame really when you're smoking it. So the charcoal lasts for a while. So you get the charcoal in there, all your vents are open. You take your Luft lighter. This thing is very intense. It burns real hot. Keep that away from the kids. And don't let them touch this thing when it's hot. We learned the hard way. And you get the Luft lighter on there. You let it go for about 45 seconds. You're gonna see some sparks starting to roll. And then let it burn off for a good half hour or so. Just let the fire do its thing. Let it burn for a while and leave everything open. About a half hour or so. You'll see the smoke will kind of clean up. And then you get ready to smoke. So this is just the beginning before you do anything, before you bring out your meat or anything like that. You can get on in there, so take a look. Woo, there's some crackling. And you kind of get it close and get a little more air. It's quite a device, this thing. And then you let the fire do its thing. We're gonna let that go for about a half hour, and then the meat will be placed and smoked. All right, we're in my kitchen. I have an absolutely gorgeous Australian Wagyu tomahawk that I got from Josh's Meats here in Miami. That's my main stop for the premium cuts. And look at this thing. It is marbled absolutely perfectly, like you couldn't get a more perfect piece of meat. Left it out of the fridge for about a half hour to come to room temperature. An elegant weapon for a more civilized age. And what we do real quick, although it's been sitting out for a little bit, I like to pat it once or twice just to get a little bit of extra moisture out of there. That way it's gonna help with the crust, especially when you're smoking it. And just get a little moisture out. And then we have, this is homemade garlic olive oil, which I'll post a recipe for pretty soon. And just gonna paint with this beautiful paintbrush, paint a little bit of that on there. You don't need much of anything, especially with a Wagyu cut, because there's just so much flavor in there. So you want to just get that all the way around, a little bit on the bone too. And then same thing on the other side. And obviously you don't have to use garlic olive oil. You can just use regular olive oil if you want. Paint that on there. And then for seasoning, everyone's got their own choice. People like doing all kinds of crazy things, but the simplest thing, if you love a good steak, and especially just a Wagyu like this, you don't want to do too much. I like a simple salt and pepper blend, and the key to it is coarse salt and pepper because that helps with that crunch and that char on the outside. I don't believe in seasoning, I believe in over seasoning. You're just not gonna put too much on there. You're gonna be okay, I promise you. So season it really generously. And then you wanna obviously get both sides of that baby. And you can, of course, you can always go around the sides too there. And there, just perfect. So now we're seasoned, we're ready to rock. And what we're gonna do is take it outside to the Big Green Egg. Big Green Egg, we said it before, should be somewhere between, let's say, 320 and 370. That would make me happy. And we probably only need about 40 minutes direct heat, but in that Big Green Egg, so it's not just getting blasted with fire the entire time. And you're gonna have the most delicious, moist, spectacular piece of meat you've ever had. That's what she said. All right, so we have our beautifully, lightly, simply seasoned tomahawk ribeye here. Salt and pepper, Little olive oil, that's it. Look at this baby, look at that. We set our big green egg about a half hour ago. I was hoping to get to somewhere between like 330 and 370, 355, that's absolutely perfect. Now the trick to this, because we've set this perfectly, that temperature is not gonna move because the air is absolutely locked in. So you don't want to, this is the key to the whole thing right now, you don't wanna leave this open for too long, otherwise you're gonna have to reset everything. So we're gonna do this real quick, open, tomahawk on. Goodbye, temperature might dip a tiny bit at first, but it should get back to where it was. But either way, anyway, as long as we're between, you know, somewhere between that 330, 370, we're gonna let it go. And then, again, no sponsors here. These are just things that I love. This is the Thermapen. I don't like just putting something in there and checking it on my phone digitally. Feels very kind of boring and, I don't know, too techie for me. So this is where we're gonna actually check. Look at this, 81 degrees on this Miami spring day. And we're gonna, basically at about 120, we're gonna rip that thing off. We're gonna remove the grate and I'm gonna throw it right on the coals for what they call the caveman char. It's pretty awesome watching that thing just explode on there. And then you have a perfect piece of meat, which hopefully will be around 130, 135 after resting for a little bit. Charred on the outside, pink on the inside. Let's see what happens. All right, so the meat's been on for about 22 minutes. I just popped it open real quick, checked it. We're at about 117 inside. I wanna be, you know, for medium rare, you wanna be around 130, maybe a little bit over, but we wanna char this baby. Now, first off, get in here quick. Look how beautiful that thing already looks. And it's, oh, just perfect, but we wanna get that char. So what I'm gonna do is, now I didn't flip it during those 22 minutes or so. What we're gonna do is take the grate off, and now we're gonna caveman this bad boy. So just for a moment, we're gonna open up all the grates, get some real heat going here. So now the air is getting the flames going. It's a little bit of a windy day here in Miami today, so it might take a second. So I basically let that go for about 2 minutes, get that flame going, and then we're just gonna throw the meat right back on it, on the coals, sear it about 2 minutes, and that's it. Then we let it rest for about 10, and you have the most delicious piece of beef you've ever eaten. I think we got a good enough flame going there. Look at this, look at that. It really doesn't need anything, but we do want to get that temperature up a little bit, get some of that char, so we're going right on the coals. They call this caveman style. This is the way we used to eat back then, before the libtards got us, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, oh my God. Do we have smell-o-vision? If we had smell-o-vision, and you will smell like meat and smoke for the rest of the day. It's just great, it's just great. You don't have to stand directly in the smoke the entire time. You can go this way, but you can see just some flames just bursting up, just getting that great char. I didn't set a timer, but we'll let this go for, you know, another 40 seconds or so. I think that's probably good enough right there. Oh, look at that. Look at that, oh my God, that is gorgeous. And we'll just do about a minute on that side. Yeah, just gorgeous. And you can see, look how soft that is. Just perfect, absolutely perfect. There you go. And then all you do to close this baby up, close the vents, close the top, close that baby. It's gonna put itself out. Make sure nobody's touching this thing for a little bit, and that's it. All right, let's eat. All right, so we just let this beauty sit for about 10 minutes. You want those juices to just sink in there beautifully. And I can feel the heat. It's beautiful, it's beautiful. I've got a little smoked salt right here, which usually if I was serving this for a bunch of people, I would just put this at the table and let everyone do it themselves, but you can also do it in advance if you want. Sometimes people are afraid to do anything. And again, you're just not gonna over season this baby. So just a little pinch of that, and this thing is ready to be sliced up. One of the keys to slicing, this is a super secret key, is live with someone who is better at slicing than you are. Watch this. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you smoke and slice a perfect tomahawk Wagyu ribeye. It doesn't always have to be Wagyu. It doesn't always have to be a tomahawk. Actually, a bone-in ribeye is fine. They call it a cowboy cut, or you don't even necessarily need the bone, although the meat's a little bit better right at the edge there. And just look at this perfectly cooked piece of meat right there. Sorry guys, you don't get any of this. I get to eat all this. All right, not bad, not bad.
Do you have some A1 sauce?
You got any ketchup?